Hello everyone, welcome to another video about trellising. Trellising a Hoya depends on, as you know, on their vigorous or otherwise growth habits, which we must be careful and be calm in the process to securely position vines. And trellises, in my opinion, should be made out of plant-friendly material. That is why I use cane as my favorite trellising option. You should consider replacing a trellis on the obvious reasons of an overgrown Hoya where the vines cannot be contained within the trellis. And also, if the growth is only towards a side of your trellis, or if the tendrils are too long and would break if you make a turn, you can opt for a longer trellis than the existing one. In my case, I break them trying to straighten up. They also deteriorate due to being organic, and I would always re-trellis if I am in the process of repotting. A very commonly talked about topic is not to place a Hoya vine downwards because they drop leaves or not leaf at all. This is very subjective to each Hoya we own, as some leaves out fine no matter what direction it faces. However, if your Hoya drops leaves because of a downward facing vine, correct it upwards so you yourself will find out if this is the cause for your plant to drop leaves. A leaf drop or a stem dying can be due to other problems faced by a Hoya too. Mainly as they get older in their plant life, the old growths can die off, or a new stronger growth may appear and another can drop off because of its high energy absorption towards the new growth. But it's okay as long as it is one or two leaves which dies off due to natural causes, and there's no need to worry. But a correct understanding of the reason may help you to put your mind at ease. As you twist the vines around a trellis, you can secure them using zip ties or any other tie you may prefer. But tightening the plant onto a trellis too tighter is not suitable, as the vine itself expands in thickness as it matures. If the tie is too thin and tight on your growth, it may also fail by dying out because of a cut made by a sharp wire. The best option to hold a vine onto a trellis would be to loosely twist 1 or 2 rounds of coated wire without tying the ends, so the vine itself would loosen itself as it grows. My older vines loosen themselves after an year or so in the process of fattening up. You may also be careful to hold the ends of new vines very softly in your hands so they wouldn't break before having the chance to be trellised. The milky sap produced by the Hoya vines also heals the partly broken vines or stems or leaves, minimizing the damage caused to a Hoya. And you also know by now that nodes which drop their leaves can leaf again too. Yes, if the nutrition you provide is right, you'll be surprised of the new growth points of a Hoya. When trellising, I would also encourage you to trellis the leafless vines too. The main reason of a bare vine is not having a stable surface to grab onto. So don't forget these are epiphytes, and you will see new leaf growths as soon as you trellis. If you still do not see new growth, you can also trim certain vines to trigger new growth. This is a small hack I use to liven up the plant. If I am not sure about the growth habit of a Hoya, personally, I would try to keep the trellising in an upward fashion. I also will try to maneuver growths around a trellis as soon as they appear, but sometimes I have to let the vines grow out more before trellising succulent types of Hoyas like obscura. Hoya sunrise, on the other hand, is totally hardy and difficult to break vines, even though they have similar leaves and often mixed up with each other. Therefore, it is best to know your plant well before trellising. And there are Hoyas which you cannot twist around due to their hard stems. In such situations, I place a long cane to climb up and would later cut from the top and reroot in the same pot. And I will keep on cutting until the vines trigger growth from the bottom nodes to make it a bit fuller. However, every Hoya cannot achieve a very vigorous growth habit. Each cutting may perform differently, and that's okay too. Sometimes you just gotta let it and help along the process for blooming. I use cane as my main trellising item because it's easily available and economical to me. But organic material which are kept outside all times deteriorates quickly when clashed with natural elements and continuous wet surroundings such as semi-hydro setups. The longevity of the trellis also depends on how new material is, and I have been able to use some cane trellises for closer to an year or until the plant fills up, especially if I have used new cane. I do not use plastic or metal trellises yet, mainly because I cannot find any customized or in country, and I also do not consider metal as a great option for Hoyas in extreme hot weathers in Asia. Lastly, most people, including me, find it's messy having to retrellis an already overgrown specimen Hoya. And I choose to undertake such operations on a calm day with plenty of time on my side to slowly untangle all the vines, as it is important not to break any leaves or stems because they are a major attraction in Hoyas. My current casualty rate is 1 leaf or stem per repotting or retrellising, which is a drastic improvement from 15 to 20 breakages in the past. You have to also make sure that the roots are not disturbed while retrellising, and the best time to replace a trellis is while repotting or uppotting to avoid regular root disturbances. If the stems are prone to air root, try to use a thick type of cane which is long lasting, because the roots will definitely grab onto the cane. Try to use a potting media that dries off faster and enable your organic trellises some extra longevity. You can also use a pergola, a grilled arch or a fence if looking for a permanent spot to grow Hoya carnosas, so the vines look like a veil or a curtain to provide more privacy for your dwellings too. So trellising is not hard if done at the correct time with the right material to match your growth space. For me, I prefer them thin and taller so I can easily move them around. You also see that it is the medium which holds my trellis stably in the pot, and I am very happy with the overall health of all of my Hoyas. So guys, as you can see, there are so many things to consider when it comes to trellising your Hoya. Your growth space, the material you have chosen to use for your Hoya, the size of your Hoya, the potting medium it grows in, and the conditions provided for the Hoya to grow well. That ends the video on trellising, and I do hope you drop in a comment if you have any questions regarding anything that I've talked about in this video, Until next time, take care of yourselves and have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.